breathing is our main way to connect with one another and with Source itself. And as we know today, there are many different brands of breathwork that are proliferating around the world. And sometimes it's hard to choose what type of breathwork fits best for me. Well, I think there's one element of breathwork that I recommend for anyone choosing, and that is heart-centered breathwork. And many schools use that term heart-centered in breathwork. It doesn't mean that we don't use our brain or that we don't have a mind, but it means that the core of what we're doing as we initiate breath and use it for our healing and our growth is heart-centered, because the heart is actually a center of major intelligence most needed for us on the planet today. Now, this is not just a sentimental reference to our being emotionally responsive to our clients. As quoted from Love Without End by Glenda Green, it's imperative that humans acknowledge the heart's higher intelligence. For the mind alone cannot tell them who they are. And genetic intelligence is a lethal weapon when combined with the technological potentials in the world today. By comparison to the mind, the heart is a function of intelligence based on the ultimate in simplicity and synchronicity. Its matrix is a synergistic center of awareness which perceives a unified relationship with all that is. The first cells of a human embryo are heart cells. They direct the initial patterns of growth in the fetus as a primal intelligence. The scholar and scientist Joseph Chilton Pearce combined research from a number of fields that confirms the heart is a major center of intelligence in human beings. 60 to 65% of all the cells in our heart are actually neural cells, not muscle cells, as formerly believed. They have the same kind of connections and neurotransmitters as brain cells and are linked to every major organ in the body. The heart creates an electromagnetic field that extends 8 to 12 feet around the body. This field is both vibrational and holographic, meaning that it can be tapped from any point in the body, no matter how microscopic. The heart field is furnishing the whole radio wave spectrum from which the brain draws its material to create our internal experience of the world. The slower than normal coherent breathing, that is one of the tools that we use, that is 5 to 6 breaths per minute, is what heart math has shown to put the heart and the brain waves in a harmony that facilitate our head and our heart centers working together. The levels of intelligence available to mankind could be summarized as survival, logic, synchronicity, and love. All four are present in the lives of each person, although a person will focus on the one that assists them the most. If they know little about the heart's intelligence or the greater intelligence of love, they will emphasize one of the other possibilities. Now, genetic intelligence is well equipped to sustain physical life and interact emotionally with the environment. Mental intelligence can formulate reports, engineer rocket ships. Neither, however, is equipped to give meaning to life or to establish a connection with divinity. Attempts to apply them beyond their means have led to destructive misconceptions. Ultimately, there is one infinite and connected intelligence. That is the one spirit. Perhaps this could be referred to as the great cosmic mind, although the term consciousness would more accurately describe its functions and availability to all life. A mind, precisely speaking, is composed of at least minimal structure due to circuitry, self-contained integrations, and proprietary applications. It's only the heart's simplicity that can comprehend infinity and connect heaven with the earth in a meaningful way. From a center of equilibrium, much like the hub of a wheel, the heart unfolds its awareness in 7 concentric rings of understanding. Each succeeding dimension of intelligence builds upon and completes the one coming before it. We're going to go through all of these 7 levels and have a little experiential exercise with each one, so that it's not just something that you're taking in mentally, that you leave our time together today having experienced and integrated your access to these 7 levels of the heart's intelligence. Now, the first dimension of the heart's intelligence is unity. Now, this is the primary awareness that there is but one God, one power, one source, which is the unifying force of all life. This awareness affirms the oneness of spirit, reveals the wisdom of the ages, and provides insight into the larger order of things. Where unity is supreme, there is nothing more adaptable than goodness. Just as water seeks its level, so too goodness seeks its application. God can redirect into some form of goodness, even in actions where there was intended harm. Unity is also the source of intelligence, for it grants the ability to integrate knowledge and to correctly define priorities. That's the beginning of wisdom. Integration is the principle of successful thinking and living. Without priorities, there can be no focus in life and no values. This translates into higher intelligence when you understand that there are core issues in everyone's life relating to dominance. Dominance is always an issue in the world. Completion hinges on the problem of dominance, often resulting in business or military conflict. In personal lives, there are endless battles for position. These things are easy to see, but unfortunately, competition for dominance is not limited to the obvious. Food cravings and other addictive compulsions are simply competing with natural functions and striving for dominance. The list is endless. Until one allows God to be the unifying force in life, there's nothing else capable of ending the chaos of competition. Should I eat this? Should I go be with these people? The mind isn't equipped to give those answers. It has preferences, but they're usually based on fear or survival. All addictions and compulsions are the result of false dominances and surrogate powers. Perhaps the greatest dominance of all is that of manufactured identities to which a person themselves has suspended their rights. Such identities are very addictive. It's false dominance that has led you astray, burned your time, your hopes, your dreams, and your love. Without false dominance, you would have infinite wisdom at your fingertips and the time in which to use it. In the presence of unity, which is God, the one, the supreme, You have all the power you need to fulfill your life and your existence. So let's do a little exercise here called a unity meditation. Get yourself comfortably seated with your spine relatively straight, not rigid. Close your eyes and breathe into your heart. Focus on the oneness of all, the universal spirit, which permeates everything. Let yourself merge with oneness and feel all within you. Every part interconnected in a seamless balance such that chaos in one area is counterbalanced by order in another, flowing together in a dance of light. Know that this spirit has much greater wisdom than any one part that pretends to be isolated. Let your heart surrender to the greater wisdom of which you are an integral part. Trust that as you surrender to unity as your guiding principle, the most confusing or complex issues created by the illusion of separation dissolve. Suggest that you will more and more instinctively go to unity every day as your guiding light. Install this principle in the core of your heart and mind. Declare that God or Spirit is the one and only power that may determine your life. Having done this, open your eyes and come back with a deep and affirming breath, knowing that it is so. The more we open ourselves to this awareness, the less other things will have the ability to control us. We can say every day, God's power is translating to me through my heart so that I may have command of my life. So in all of the breathwork sessions that you do for yourself and with others, do this breathing with a faith in the unity of all our intentions, in the oneness of spirit that unites us in breath. The power of this collective intention will supercharge each upon the deepest of levels. And this is the way I believe we, as a breathwork community, come together and take advantage, as it were, of the loving intentions of breathworkers and people using breathwork around the world. We're so much greater than just one individual or isolated self. Now, the second dimension of the heart's intelligence is love. Love is the power of the universe. Therefore, your greatest defense in life is to protect, honor, and respect love in its many forms. When you maintain this principle with clarity, your life purpose will come into view. This is because all of your purposes are etched in love. Love is beyond just a feeling or an orientation. It's a dimension of intelligence and purposeful living. Above all, It's the essence of beingness itself. A person who is operating with a commitment to purpose has higher intelligence than one who is not. A person who is operating on his true purpose is then able to assign values to life. The heart's intelligence is cumulative. Through perceptions of unity, priorities are established. Then love assigns the purposes. Furthermore, love heightens a person's instinct to nourish, enhance, and apply those purposes. Love is both a way of being and also a pathway for becoming. Love ignites life. Love savors life and sustains faith and hope. Even though life often brings lessons in hard packages, learning happens only when forgiveness has occurred and love is restored. It's love that ignites the learning. Only with love can learning occur. This is how you take something from the school of hard knocks and transmute it into a permanent attainment. You can then say, I don't have to do this again. I've completed the lesson. I know the meaning behind the experience. Love brings certainty to life. And when your love is clear and unpolluted, you will have the confidence to live your life with passion. It's regrets and false desires that will pollute your love. When you're certain of your love, there will be fuel for passion. With passion, there's fuel for life. So again, let's do a little love meditation exercise. I'll ask you to sit up, your spine relatively straight, not rigid, and close your eyes while breathing into your heart. Meditate upon love as the power of your beingness and the essence of who you really are. Now say to yourself, I see and feel myself earnestly applying love's principles and being successful in love and life. Again, I see and feel myself earnestly applying love's principles and being successful in love and life. Let yourself soak that into every cell. And once you have done this, and once you've made this commitment now, every cell in your body is in alignment and working to the same goal. Now breathe easy and come back to the awareness of our room together, seeing with the eyes of love. In our breathwork trainings, we spend an entire day on what I call the holy vision process. And that is being able to identify when we are seeing others, our life, or the world through the eyes of fear or through the eyes of love. Then we go further to discover what's behind the fear. Once we're aware of those personal laws, those negative and limiting beliefs that become like our filters that we're looking through life, once we're aware of what they are, we can replace them with love.